We on?
We on like popcorn.
We rolling?
We rolling.
All right.
And we strolling.
All right.
Rolling and we strolling.
So, yes, people, here we are once again with another episode. What number is this? 104, somewhere there?
105.
Yeah, he should you banner one day number. May we talk.
All right.
105.
Somewhere there. We over the 100, the 100 episode mark, and we still going strong. So here we are once again. Whatever number it is, Karin have issues with that because we did do a couple of rebroadcast. So Karin,
I have no issues.
We shouldn't be counting that. I am not going to get into that debate. So here we are once again.
We'll do a show where we debate those things.
I not in that. That's going to be my week off. So tell me, people, how you all doing this evening?
I'm well. How are you?
So somebody tell you I was wearing yellow this evening, so you decide to go put on yellow. Well, what is that about?
Don't make us.
I staying out of that.
So Sam, you turn down your mic and holler upstairs and call Dr. Judith from the page.
Hold on. Yeah, we're on the show, we're live. Yeah. She working it out.
Okay.
I think she was some oxtail or something. Yeah, oxtail or something she working out in the back there.
So tell me let me tell you all something. You see in my neck of the woods today, it was hot beyond hot. I don't know what happened today. I think the temperatures in South Florida went past 100 degrees today. Seriously, I think it was like 103, 104 degrees or something like that. It was so hot this morning. I'm not complaining, I'm just mentioning it. Just honorable mention because I like the heat over the cold any day. So I enjoy the heat. So how things up on your side, Sam?
Hi, Lucy.
Well, I didn't really go outside that much. I was outside for a portion of the morning, but I was kind of treating today like how we do it in the Caribbean. We move out early because we want to have some siesta by midday. So going out and handle scenes and ding, 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 ding. The sun didn't really the sun didn't really blaze up yet. Everything was just still. So when the sun eventually turned real ripe and thing, ripe up and thing, that probably was what you all was feeling down there. I was already back.
Boss, I talking about 9 o'clock this morning. It was hot. And it got hotter as the day went along. Yeah, man. It was kind of ridiculous out there today. So Karin,
you ready?
How are you? Ready? Did I say Karin? Karin.
I'm well.
Yeah, she ready.
You good?
Hi.
Dr. Judith. How you doing?
Greetings, my friend.
From Jack.
You're blocking some of your head.
Listen to me, man.
I want more head. Right, that good.
What that t-shirt they say? Oh, baby, what? Oh, baby, I love you.
All right. Yeah, tell all you, we don't want to get flagged for nobody music. We would have to take the show down, edit it to put it back up. I keep telling all you.
Yeah, what's going on, people? I'm wearing black.
Hello, everybody.
Hi.
You're wearing yellow.
Who wearing
and green. And somebody wearing white. What color is that?
Who wearing
white?
white?
Flag or is that?
No, that ain't nothing. So Judith, tell me what is could you raise up? Let me see.
No.
Let me see the old babies.
That's too personal.
I want to see the. I want to see the old babies.
We do not want to see the personal stuff. We just want to see what is printed
that time.
It has to do with one of my brother's when he was running for re-election, his T-shirt. So it's not nothing to do.
Okay. All right, Sam, run the thing. Let me come back and get into
tonight. So the term "oh baby" was used in politics.
Yeah. Oh baby, something.
All right. Oh baby.
Sam,
My name is Karin Forrester. I represent BantuKreations. BantuKreations offers beautifully made, African-inspired, lightweight, handcrafted, one-of-a-kind earrings in wonderful shapes, shades, sizes, and colors. Please don't be scared of the large sizes. They're extremely lightweight earrings. BantuKreations can be found on IG and on Facebook as BantuKreations. That's BantuKreations with a K.
Check me out, chriskeys.com. I'm worldwide.
Tony Altamirano.
Hi, I'm Gina.
What's up, everybody? I'm Win Vu, award-winning remixer.
Koya, I'm an artist. Hi, my name's Justina Bethel.
Hi, I'm Mike Bowen from Denton, Texas.
How you doing? This is Tom Cutt from Music by Tom Cutt. Check out Samuel E. Archer's book, Hybrid Executive. We are in the business, and here's how you can be a better business person because you're running your business.
You can find my music at JustinaBeth_EL on Instagram or JustinaBethel.com, and I am a hybrid executive.
I'm a hybrid executive.
I'm a hybrid executive, just like you.
Follow me at Koya Music, and I'm also a hybrid executive.
I'm worldwide, baby, but just know I'm a hybrid executive. That's all you need to know, baby.
Get on up, B.
Check out my music, MikeBowen.com. I'm a hybrid executive.
I'm a hybrid executive.
Showtime.
Hi, we are the Henry Boys. I'm Joshua.
I'm Daniel. And I'm Simone.
We're inviting you to read a copy of our father's book, Tiny Little Spider and Nursery Rhyme.
Hey, what do you mean a father's book? This is my book. I'm on the cover. Me, Imani. But let's not forget our sister Imani started writing this book.
And our dad finished it. So get a copy.
For yourself or for your child.
Tiny Little Spider, a nursery rhyme by Curtis B. Henry and Imani Smith. Now available on Amazon.com.
With me, Imani. Spider Boy.
And we are back once again tonight, people. Even though we're not showing the videos tonight, but we have another episode of Social Media Madness. A great American artist by the name of Andy Warhol once said that in the future, everyone will be world famous for 15 minutes. In short, everybody will have the 15 minutes worth of fame. But I humbly ask you for what? What you fame for? In social media, everyone and the other is attempting to get us. That's a new word that they coin. Many are now considering.
It look like we get tired there, people. All I hear him, or is it
Frozen?
You got frozen there for a second?
Mm-hmm.
That's the movie Frozen.
Yeah.
The movie Frozen?
But I'm coming across. What's up?
Yeah, just repeat what he said in the last half a minute. You were kind of
in the last half a minute.
Yeah, he was in the middle there.
Basically, I'm asking the question: what are people becoming famous for? In this era, so to become insta famous, they're now considering themselves content creators. And once again, I ask the question: for what? What content are these people really creating? Is it worth the time of day? But more importantly, we, the watchers, we need to assess our own involvement in this social media frenzy and ask ourselves, what exactly are we consuming? are we becoming better individuals? Are we being educated with the content that we're consuming, or are we just participating in our own demise, wasting away hours of this precious commodity we call time? Some users believe that they are in some way, shape, or form connected to some of the individuals because they follow them on Instagram, or they respond to a tweet that this famous person made, and somehow you think that you and these people are friends. Panelists, please tell us, you here, the three of you, how exactly are you using social media for your benefit?
So, social media for me, in terms of on a benefit level, I'll probably go with Facebook, where I like to call Facebook the phone book that comes alive. So, because I do get to reconnect with folks that I don't get to see all the time, or I haven't seen them in years. And even if they're not online, there's a way to just reach out and send some message, and you guys can communicate. So at least communication wise is a benefit, I think, when you have a message to send, and instead of going through a telegram or sending a letter in the mail, or even an email. Some things might be too much to type. So, to be able to just reach out and touch is a beautiful thing. And it does help with your sales in terms of selling and business. So, it has some benefits there that I think.
For me personally, it helps. It reminds me of birthdays. Because they tell me everybody on my friends list, birthday coming up tomorrow, the day after that, next month. And I kind of keep in tune with it that way. So that's one thing right off the top of my head that it does for me. That's Facebook, per se. So, Karin, how does social media benefit you?
Benefit? Pulling me out of my shell a little bit more. I've had to come out of my shell because I'm very private. And it's drawn me out to levels that I didn't think that I had to expose myself more, to people.
So are you exposing these private parts that you kept to yourself? I don't know. What are you saying? She said she was private. Now she said she exposing. So are you exposing?
What when me say, no, what you want to hear? They say, I am a very private person.
Okay.
And it has forced me to be more public and share more information than I normally would.
You said exposed.
When me just say, don't start up with me tonight, Right. Depend that.
So Judith, do you find yourself exposing stuff on social media?
I try not to expose myself too much.
Easy to Sam.
I try my best not to expose myself too much. But what I do get from being on social media, I have to share this. What I do get from it, my benefit is that birthdays, it's a good reminder, birthdays, and then I get to write about my favorite subject. I get to write about the Lord and share with other people who are interested, and that's the major benefit that I get. I enjoy it tremendously, and sometimes I'll see other people on there that I don't normally see, like you, for instance, Dr. Henry. I see you every once in a while. You pop up dressed one way 1 minute, and the next minute, you have is that a do-rag, or I wish I could do-rag? I don't know that rag that you have, whatever it is that you have on sometimes. So it's really, and I get to make comments about things that really mean a lot to me. So that's what I benefit from it, sir. Is that a concise enough answer for you?
Oh, yes, certainly. But let me ask a question. Since we talk in social media, we have a whole lot of platforms out there. By show of hands, anyone here on Instagram? Yeah, no.
No.
You're not on Instagram.
No.
Karin, you on Instagram?
I am.
Okay. Yeah, I have several Instagram accounts.
Oh wow.
For different reasons. For my upholstery
wow.
business, I have an upholstery page. Excellent Upholstery, shameless plug. I have my personal page, which is Curtis Henry FM. I have my YouTube channel, Caribbean Chatt. We also have Caribbean Feedback. So,
may I ask, Mr. Dr. Henry, I'm sorry, may I ask, on which of those social media outlets do you expose yourself so I can go and see?
You can go. You see, you.
I think I need some water.
So, question: anyone here on Twitter?
I think only tweets go on Twitter.
Well, Sam, you care to defend that? I have a Twitter account. I think I sent out one tweet when I opened the account. I've never been back. It has never pulled me in. So I have no real opinion on Twitter, whether whether pro or con. I haven't explored this platform to see what are the benefits.
They just talk so much. They talk so much on Twitter, and in every political campaign or before or after the campaign, every big controversy is about what this person tweeted and what this other person retweeted, and this constant vicious cycle.
Like
tweeting. My good Lord, stop talking already. I can't do it.
But let me help you all a little bit there.
Mm-hmm.
Twitter now.
Build a bridge. Build a gap.
There's no bridge to build here. By the way, if you guys are looking for a platform on social media that does where you expose certain things, there's a site called OnlyFans, and you can invite just your fans.
Oh wow!
And what exactly are you exposing?
It depends on what it is you want to expose.
Oh my gracious!
And you can, there's no limits. But anyway.
Oh my gracious!
Yeah, don't take the Bible in there at all.
Tell me about Twitter.
But back to Twitter. You gotta remember all the social media platforms, the main ones, the IG, the Facebook.
Let me talk about Twitter. We're gonna get to the rest of them.
I know. I'm just saying so it makes sense to those who, each platform works for a specific kind of person. So Twitter is where you say a lot, but you can't say much at the same time. So the idea is to use X amount of characters. I think it's like 160 characters. And whatever it is you wanted to say, you needed to say it in that space. So it limits you as to what you're going to say. So in one sentence or in a phrase, you have to say something if it's going to have meaning. So sort of like
find a way to get into trouble. They still find a way to get into trouble.
Well, of course, because you can. It also allows you to post pictures and video clips. So, but you can't have too much words in there. Like, it's not like you're preaching a sermon.
So it's best for people who respond to pictures primarily.
No. Well, phrasing,
So, question, Sam: did Twitter start out this way? Because what it is I find happening now, a lot of the platforms are copying what another platform does in order to keep you on that particular platform. They will take on something else that another platform is doing. So now, what I see happening, there isn't a difference between most of these platforms now, because they all tend to mirror each other in terms of the video, the pictures, the phrases, the memes and stuff that you can put up. They're beginning to resemble each other. So how does anyone stand out right now, or use these platforms to stand out?
They still stand out. Well, remember, for it to make sense again, remember we had MySpace initially.
I want to get to that just now. Finish with the Twitter. I want to get to I want to take them one at a time.
It's fine. Yeah, but I'm not going to go in there with the meat. But my point was, Facebook went one way with the same MySpace idea, and Twitter went another way first. So you had one where it was about friends and family, people that knew you, and you couldn't just follow people. Twitter, on the other hand, went more like you saying a tweet. So yes, you could have posted a picture, but it was more about a saying. It was more like a quick, it's like almost texting somebody. But you're saying whatever it is you want to say, you say it in less, less, right. So that's sort of like was the science. But even with the arrival of your IG and the arrival of even with Snapchat and all these other things and TikTok, each platform still has its dominant purpose. So yes, you can post a picture in Twitter, but it's not going to give you the same dynamics that it will in Instagram, because Instagram is really, the whole idea of that was pictures initially, so it would have more dominance there. Facebook, that you could use all the different ones. You can say all what you want to say. You can post pictures. You can post videos. You can, but then it's again for your select group. So it's sort of like everybody has their own Zoom account in Facebook. So it's like, okay, you have your own closed circuit, and then you broadcast what it is. And then they claim that the Facebook is your account. So then that's a whole other...
So everyone here on Facebook?
I am.
Yeah.
So going back to that last claim that you make there, they claim that it's your account.
Yeah.
That's a very interesting phrase. Something tells me you believe something to the contrary.
Yes, because it's not your account.
How so?
Because they have the plug. They could plug you on or off in your own account.
What I find happening in Facebook, if for instance somebody pulls the plug on you, is there a complaint department? Is there a number you can call and say, hey, you all shut down my account and that wasn't right. You all need to fix this.
Well, that's the other challenge. None of the social media platforms have a customer service you can call. None of them. So it's user-based, and then if you have a complaint or an issue, you can send an email somewhere or what have you, and then however they work it out, they work it out. I went to a conference once, and I actually met people that worked at YouTube. And I remember they gave me their business cards. There was no phone number, no emails. So just a name and the logo.
John, YouTube, that's it.
That's it.
So there's a term that's used out there, Facebook jail. You ever found yourself in Facebook jail for saying something, for exercising your right to free speech? Let me put it like that.
Not personally, but I've seen situations where folks got into Facebook jail, yes.
Yeah. I think I was on it for a few hours or some one time.
Oh yeah, they shut me down for a month.
Oh wow.
For making a comment about a meme. No, a GIF. I made a comment about a GIF. And they say, oh no, that's violent. We don't want you. We don't encourage violence here on Facebook. And they shut me down for an entire month.
Wow.
I made another comment to a personal friend of mine. He had a son, and the son is the splitting image of him. It looks like he didn't even use the woman. It's just it looked like what we call these things, a clone.
Clone.
It was a miniature version of him. And I said to him, I said, bro, if you ever ask for a DNA test to establish paternity where this kid is concerned, I'll shoot you myself.
Oh,
Facebook said, oh, no, that's violent. did anybody really take the time to read that and see or look at the communication between me and this individual and
They're
realize
just looking at keywords.
Shoot.
They're just looking
yeah,
for
they saw
keywords.
shoot. So if I was speaking about basketball and I say I know how to shoot, what they're gonna shut me down. So they're using these trigger words and closing you off because you used a bad word.
Mm-hmm.
So that's one of my issues, that there is no complaint department, that there is no one you can call. There is nothing. Oh yes, Carol, I was in Facebook jail for like a month. But what they said, they didn't shut me down completely, but they said my comments will not show up in like the feed. It's like very low down. So I would post something and I get like 2 likes on it because nobody was seeing my post.
Just
so,
like on IG has where they allow you to report in what they call inappropriate content. If anything shows up on your feed. But I have gone through several states and different countries actually on different people's IG pages, and they actually have full frontal nudity or a body part or something exposed, and that goes. No one is monitoring that. So it's like the hypocrisy of the situation is amazing.
Also, it's basically here in America, but what happens overseas? They don't.
No. Even in the States, even here in the States,
okay.
Here in the States and abroad.
I heard a story today. I think Norman called me and Ed was telling me that somebody called a radio station in Jamaica, and I forget the name of the Mr. Mulliter. Somebody called and she called and said, I met this gentleman and he asked me for my number. And I gave him my number. And almost every day, God bless me with. I wake up in the morning and the man send me a picture of his personal parts, his private parts. So the man said to her, the announcer said to her, so you need to report that to the police. She said, I can report that to the police. Him say, yes, report it to the police.
But you know what's the funny part? She said every morning. So somehow, if from the first day she realized that this text from this gentleman is of his private parts. Monday morning, Tuesday morning, you see a text from him, you're going to open the text. Wednesday, you're going to open the text. Next week, Friday, you're still opening the text. Something tells me she enjoys these texts coming from this guy, and she just wants to talk about it.
She just don't understand why I'm going to follow up with a visit.
Oh, something else. Something. What we say back home, Sam? Something in the mortar. Something in the mortar beside the pistol.
I think it looking like tonight's topic should have been private exposure.
Yep, very interesting question. We segue into this. Has anyone here ever had, and please, for the people in the chat, let me ask you all something. Carol, Lucy, has anyone here ever had a weird experience on social media?
Let me give them a moment to think about that. But I had when I with Bantu within the first year, I think about 6 months.
So this is your business page?
My business page. Mm-hmm.
Okay.
I had a new follower, so I saw a notification from her a couple of days or something after she started following me. Of course, I'm going to open it, see what she's saying. And this was a lady that was large and in charge, and had the equivalent of a dental floss type outfit on, exposing most of her body. I don't know what she saw that she made me think that I could possibly have some interest in that. One of the most beautiful parts of IG is that you can unfollow someone without the person knowing, and make sure not to receive any more information from him or her. And of course, I took advantage of that quick, fast, and in a hurry because I wanted no further contact with that person.
So when you say dental floss outfit, it was
just basically a string, boom. It covered hardly anything.
Everything else was meat?
Everything else was, I don't know about the meat part, but everything was just out there.
It was blah?
Just swell up, everything.
Large and in charge, eh?
Large and in charge. All over. I'm talking, probably easily cut 325.
So was this person modeling in
not for
dental floss outfit?
She thought she was modeling for me, but it was it's funny because you can set up your feed to once a person opens it, it disappears, and that's what she did. That's what she did. So I didn't even have an opportunity to say stick click.
To share it with Sam.
To share it. Yeah. To share it with you. To share it with you.
Also, it had like a what you call a Snapchat
vanishing mode
feature where you had this convo and then it doesn't exist.
Not convo. Whatever she sent, the moment that I, as the receiver, opened it, vanished.
Yeah, vanishing mode you call it. What about you, Sam? Any weird situations?
I haven't been that fortunate.
Fortunate.
I
should have sent that to you. I wonder if you don't feel fortunate.
I haven't been that fortunate, but I have seen some things that I would like to unsee.
So Karin said, no, I don't recall any weird experience on social media because my accounts are private as can be.
Lord.
I see. So even if I should follow you on Instagram, I still can't see your pictures until you decide to follow me back. Okay, I see how you do.
Sounds like a very ironclad.
With Carol, with business pages, we have to make them public. The business pages have to be public.
What about you, Judith? Any?
I expose myself to everybody.
So are you saying that someone may have sent you an eggplant in years ago?
Oh, you are so gross. Some years ago, some young lady, she's very the picture that she posted was very shapely and whatever, and sent it to me like she'd like to get to know me. I said, I don't think you do. I don't think you do. And I vanquish her.
You vanquish?
I vanquish her.
Well, I had an individual one time that decided to send me her upper torso, totally unsolicited, someone I didn't know, and I think she rested them somewhere, and they came up so high, they were like up here, and I sat there for like, I couldn't figure out what it was. I'm sitting there looking at this. What?
Elephantitis.
I don't know what it was. I'm just saying, what is? Why is she peeping? Why is she peeping over this thing? Whatever it is. What if she sent me a picture? She seemed to be peeping over something, and I'm trying to figure. Okay, so I'm peeping too, and I don't know what I'm looking at. And then I realized, no, I was too close. I had to pull back. And when I pulled back down at the bottom of the picture, I was able to see, I said, oh, that's what it was. That's what. But.
So it was, you had a binocular moment.
Sam was discussing this at some time before with the A cup, the C cup, the D cup. I don't know what that was. I'm not familiar with the cups and the sizes, but.
Double G.
No, they were 2 watermelons. That's the best I can say. 2 watermelons. I don't know what size cup that is. And she was peeping over the 2 watermelons like this. So that was one of my weirdest experiences. Other than that, I do get people threatening to shut down my page and all kind of stuff. Because hold on, let me ask you all this. You're from the Caribbean, right? I posted a picture of some dogs at one time, and like a pack of 15 dogs, like on a street. And I said, if I was walking up the street, I would have to have about 5 big stones in my hand. And this white girl come on and say, oh, no, you all are cruel. I see how you all treat dogs in the Caribbean. Another person say, where are their owners? Why does a dog always have to have an owner? Why does we always think we have to own something? That was an interesting clip we had where a teddy bear a grizzly bear almost bite off this woman's chin because she somehow think that that's a pet. A baby grizzly bear. The bear is licking her face. She didn't realize he's tasting. Oh, he kissing me. No, he was tasting you. And when he realized it was palatable enough, this baby bear actually growled and took a bite out of her chin. Lucky it wasn't her neck. Because somehow we always seem to think we need to own something. We need to pet something. We need to lay down and cuddle.
Everything we think is can be
according to the person in the Caribbean, if they go there and take a walk through the village, they will get a nice experience.
Yeah, they will quickly realize that all dogs are not lovable.
Because any dog I see when I home in the Caribbean, when I in Tobago, and I walk into the village and somebody dog want to come out, and I just act like I lean down to pick up a stone. It's gone, he gone, you know.
Yeah.
It's stone he pick up, and you don't have to even pick up the stone. You just have to lean down and do so.
Right.
They know the move. They know the move. And what did he come out there for? To lick your hand?
He coming to lick nothing. He coming to cause problems.
Problems, to bite you. And that is what they needed to understand. And I said, no, trust me. And I said it again. I would have to have big stone in my hand because, and they would find out. Go down there and try to go pet somebody dog you see outside in the street and see what happens. So it's one of the other madness where people want to attack you based on their values and not understanding your culture, where you came from, and somehow want to put me down as some animal hater or whatever it is. And sometimes we just need to drink water and mind your business and just keep moving. So tell me something about TikTok. Anybody here on TikTok?
No.
I too old for TikTok.
What are your feelings?
Uninstalled it.
What about your feeling? What are your feelings about TikTok, Karin?
I uninstalled it. I have a couple of issues with it being a Chinese-owned company and knowing the politics and practices.
Oh, there's a politics.
So that's one of the main reasons I uninstalled it. Mm-hmm. And I try not to.
One platform right now on the planet. TikTok.
Pardon?
TikTok is the #1 platform on the planet.
I
now.
believe you. I believe you.
So is it also good for business? Or it started off with
I think
people
it is
dancing.
good for business if that's if that's your target demo is your high teens to 30s or so, whatever their particular.
Maybe we have a business person in the chat that can jump in and let us know if TikTok.
It is good for business, definitely.
But I read something somewhere that the version of TikTok that is in China and other countries on the other side of the world, we don't even see that.
Is that
and the
right?
crap that we do over here, they don't see that over there. Because TikTok was started for their engineering students and the intellectuals posting stuff like that. Somehow when it came on this side of the world, people started posting
buffoonery.
The buffoonery with the dances and TikTok dances and stuff like that. And somehow they sort of drew a line and separated it. So yeah, you all carry on like fools over there with that, but they kept the cleaner version on the other side of the world where, like I said, engineering students and whoever take advantage of TikTok from that perspective,
and
while
just
people over here doing all kind of foolishness.
I find that very interesting. And just to add a little bit on that, we're on this side of the hemisphere, we tend to feel like we have open access to everything, free speech, until, as you guys have stated, until a Facebook or an IG, which is, same owner, until they decide, don't you dare say this. Don't go any further, or we're going to restrict this. But there are many, many countries where those platforms do not allow freedom of speech. And I'm not talking just about, where you have strict religious laws and so forth. I'm talking across the board. There are a lot of countries where people cannot just post freely, cannot just hear everything from all over the world, freely. They just don't have that access. And Facebook can be closed down by a lot of countries, or IG.
So they censor the information?
They censor everything. They censor everything in a lot of different countries, not just the most austere ones with religious laws. Like, your Saudi Arabias and so forth. Not just those countries. They censor a great deal. And they'll just close down the Facebook, the IG, and so forth. They'll just close them down, which I find insane.
Is it just me, or do any of you find that Facebook or even Google is kind of creepy?
I stay away from Facebook a lot. I just find it to be it's quite creepy.
Creepy. To me, it's like having a friend who's a gossiper. You know, they mind
Well,
everybody else's business, and then they come and
that's
they
the
tell you.
unattractiveness of Twitter. That's why I couldn't do Twitter. Twitter is just not my
I
personality.
find, you know, Google especially, it keep updating you when, well, Facebook keep updating you when somebody likes your photo, or whether or not somebody you know made a comment on something that you commented on, and they just let you know, hey, you know, so and so made a comment on the same thing you comment on. Why do I need to know that? So now I can go and see what this other person said on the same question or whatever it is that I made a comment on. So they come and they tell you, like, hey, yeah, go over
just
there and
like
check this.
just like on WhatsApp, although it's a slightly different thing, but we all know that Facebook owns IG and WhatsApp, and you literally can't go on WhatsApp unless you change your settings. And this person knows you're on. This person knows you're on. You're like, good God, can I just sign on, check my messages, and come off the moment you go on? Or you were last on at this time at this. You're like, oh, good God, you know. So unless you change to like an incognito mode or something, everybody knows when you are on the moment you sign on.
It's the very same thing with Google. This is what I'm saying. If you go on Google right now and you say, somebody tell you I have a Canon 7D camera, and you, well, okay, what is that? You go on Google and you pull it up as Canon 7D. Oh, okay, one of those cameras. Bet you the next day you turn on your phone, you're seeing ads for Canon cameras
on YouTube, Facebook, IG, LinkedIn. I've seen it on all the various platforms based on one search. And
Karin said Google reads your mind.
No, this is a true story. This is a true story. I was on the phone. This was about probably 4 years ago. I'm in front of the computer on the phone talking to someone, and I think I needed to do something on a dental level. And I said, yeah, you know, I need to go to the dentist and such and such and such. Hung up the phone, and the Facebook window was open on the screen. And you know, there was a time when they'll have all the little ads coming up on the side, and it was just all dental offices in the area. Dental offices.
So that means that the audio was picked up? Is that it?
It apparently picked up my audio, because I didn't say to the computer.
It's a good thing you didn't say I want some, you know. But anyway.
You want somewhat?
Something sexually or something like that, then you would be a totally different.
Well, I guess some things that have been coming up on the screen.
Goodness gracious, how invasive.
I saw that on some particular platform. A guy asked the question, I don't understand why all this gay stuff keeps showing up on my phone, and everybody went in on him. They said, bro, it's the algorithms. That's what you're engaging in. That's why I keep on saying. That's why it keeps showing up on your phone, because that's what you're engaging in. So they sort of track you with everything you do, and boom, it's right there. And some people think that it's safe to talk around your phone when it's just sitting in the corner. Like Sam stated, you were on the phone talking about visiting the dentist, and on the computer, here it comes, dental offices in your area. And you think Big Brother is not listening?
And I didn't put no search. I didn't put no search. And I think during COVID, I saw a meme where there were like 3 people listening, like they're in a room, and the person in the room talking on the phone, and 3 people listening, and one was Facebook, one was IG, and I think one was they all listening to your conversation.
So Judith, do you find any crisscrossing information on any of these platforms for you?
Well, there are times when I will be on Facebook and I see people that post TikTok things on the Facebook. And I don't have similarities so much as one thing I can tell you, if I try to find information about something, a particular thing, like airline tickets, say, and as soon as I get off my phone, on my Facebook is a whole slew of airline ads.
And Facebook technically supposed to have nothing to do with your phone service.
I check some what do you call that thing? Some collagen products, and by the time I get off the phone, collagen is being advertised on my Facebook. But I don't really, like I said, I use it really to write. That's what I'm there for, and to make comments about stuff. And like today, this guy wanted to fight. He wanted to argue with me about, I don't know if it's Meghan Markle or something he wanted to argue with me about. Or Jennifer Lopez. I got married. And I always think it's funny that people write about these people like they know them. Like you said at the start. They write about these people like they know them. I can understand you being happy for people, but I don't understand you writing about them like, you have lunch with them all the time and whatever. So anyway, this man write me back. I think it was about Jennifer Lopez, whatever I said. And I have a habit of not reading the responses because I know I can tell when you're going to talk filth. So he and a woman told them not write me back again a second time. And I wrote back, I said, listen, let me be very clear. I'm not reading your response. And I'm not going to respond again after this. So I'll tell you what you do. Go fly a kite without the tail or any wind. And I was done. I never heard from them again.
Fly a kite without a tail or any wing, Lord Father.
So any of you here willing to admit that you addicted to social media?
No, I'm not addicted.
I'm not either.
I'm not addicted.
I was at one point.
How so? Tell us about that.
Yeah, it felt like I was missing something, and I had to keep coming on. Like, yeah, what? And then I came back on, and then I left, and then it felt like I was being called back.
Come on, Sam, come on back.
Yeah, like, and it started with MySpace, and it's like the next thing. What else is going on?
You need the next fix. You need a fix. What's the next fix?
After a little while, I had to unplug. Yeah,
I'm calling you, Sam. Come on home, Sam.
I had to unplug. I said, no, this isn't good. This is not good at all. And I had to start. I said, I can't have this thing run in my life. I had to run this thing.
Do you know that it's now considered a disorder?
I'm sorry?
Social media addiction is now considered a disorder.
Oh, I'm pretty sure of it.
People are actually going to get treated.
I'm not.
Yeah, for social media addiction.
I didn't develop an addiction, but starting with Bantu and trying to promote and market, getting caught up with the likes as it is, the likes on IG, the followers on LinkedIn and Facebook, who's viewing, comments that they're making, and goodness gracious, hours of time just trying to see, and looking at, as you said, you're saying algorithms, but looking at who's looking at the page, age group, all of that. You get really caught up in it for a while.
So Sam said you need to unplug. Unplugging is one thing, but you ever felt the need to detox?
Oh yeah, there was times when I don't know if they give you that option anymore, but there were some people that would just shut down their Facebook page for a week or two.
I've had people say that.
They had to, come off.
I've had people tell me that.
When you said that there's a disorder, and I laughed. That laugh I laughed there was the first time I heard people. Well, I heard about buying bottled water. Now we, buying bottled water today is a normal thing, but there was a time when you're drinking water from the pipe. So when you heard about bottled water, buy the water in the bottle, you're like, it was just a strange, what? So now you have a disorder for social media, and that's interesting. And it's treated. You can go and get treatment.
Yes, people are actually getting treated.
You know how they treat it? Huh? You don't want to know how they treat it here? I'm very sorry for you.
So is it safe to say that social media is destroying our brain?
Oh,
it's only what you allow. If you don't know how to limit yourself with certain things, whether you're talking about some physical thing like alcohol or drugs, or watching these things, unending, just between your job, on your way to your job, that's just ridiculous. You've got to know to give yourself some time out. Give yourself time out.
Yep.
So, Dr. Judith, how is the treatment for this? Or do you have to expose something to be treated for?
That's it right there. You have to expose something. You got it.
You have to expose something to be treated for.
Yeah. You have to
Social
expose
media
your private
addiction
parts.
disorder.
You have to expose your private parts.
Well, let me ask you all something. Anybody here think that they haven't been affected by the consistent use of social media? You think you're the same person, that it didn't affect you?
I know I'm not the same person.
I'm not. Yeah, it's social media has become like part of a way of life. I'm definitely affected. I mean, everyone has been affected.
I've been affected.
No, but it's whether or not people willing to admit that.
Oh, I admit it. I was listening to way too many gurus and specialists on marketing and so many voices. I said it before.
I resent that.
Even the people who may not be on social media, their whole thing would be affected by those who are on.
How about you?
What I resent is these influencers. These little punks who don't even know to dry their body properly. About them influencing people. What the hell who you influencing? Who are you talking about? and if you notice all these young people dying, there's a lot of young people dying. Some of them are in the movie industry or the entertainment industry or whatever, 28 years old, all these young people dying. But they're taking on things that I'm like, you're an influencer. What the heck are you going to influence anybody to do? So I hear so much of it now. I'm like, influencer. And then resume.
Well, a lot of people use fashion to influence people in terms of and the way the lifestyle that they live or that they pretend to live, the lifestyle they pretend to lead. And a lot of people look at this and live vicariously through these individuals. You see them in a particular outfit and you say, you know what, that looked nice on them. I want one too. And somehow, just like the mannequin in the store window, that outfit look good on them. Right. It don't necessarily mean it's going to look good on you. Right. And people follow these influencers and see them because they are being paid handsomely to put on a particular outfit from a particular designer. And you see it and you say, I want that. And you rush to the store and you buy it and then you stand up there looking like a clown because it don't fit you the same way. Because you think you're going to look like that influencer in that particular outfit. And it not go so in the real world.
I think it's Karin I was telling the other day, some time ago. Sorry, Karin. I think it was you I was telling. There are people that I admire. And men and women that I think are attractive, whatever. But I don't want to copy nobody. I'm sorry. I like me. I don't want to copy nobody. I influence me. Anyway. Sorry.
But
go ahead.
Sorry. No, I remember, I think Curtis, you mentioned one time about certain actors and actresses that they will get a role in a high profile film based on how many hundreds of thousands or millions of followers they have. And they may get the role above someone else who's more qualified, who's more effective in that role, but because the industry wants that support, they'll give it to the person with the highest following. So they'll, get that draw to the movie. So it's supported by many industries, whether it's fashion or
I've been a victim of that myself. Where a particular movie was being casted and I sent in my information and they asked me for my social media page. Why? I sent you my headshot. I sent you my resume. No, we need to see your social media page. And I saw other individuals on there who got cast in the roles. And then I said, when I did my research and went on those individual Facebook page or social media pages and realized the thousands upon thousands of followers that they had. And I knew it was that because these people had no real acting experience, nothing on their resume, but they got cast in the role because they have followers on Instagram. So somehow the movie is hoping, the production company rather is hoping that they would capitalize on these followers that this individual have, and it would bring them out to see the particular film or make them stream it whenever in fact it is released. So I sort of understand that, because trust me, in this day and age, if I or when I do my next production, I will follow the same route. Not because you just have a pretty face and you can act. I'm not just going to throw you in there and nobody knows you. So
that's how I get most of my roles.
So fortunately or unfortunately, I will be following the same thing, because it is what works in today's society, and I think it would be foolish of anyone not to follow suit with that and try to do it the old-fashioned way. I don't think, there's anything wrong with doing that. So going back to the part about being affected, if you have ever edited a picture, which means you crop it, you take out some of the background and you pull yourself to the forefront, before you post it, you're affected by social media, because you take out the stuff that's useless in the photo and bring yourself to the forefront. Whereas had it been a photo in the old days where you print it, you would say, look at here, this is me on the beach in Hawaii. That's the picture. But now you cut out the stuff that you think is useless out of the picture, and many people out there using these filters that they have now, and putting filters on the photos to present their best self to the public before they present it to the public. So a lot of people are being influenced with the filters and editing software and changing lighting on pictures and all of these different things. So whether we want to realize it or not, social media is affecting us. The more we use it, the more gadgets and things they come out with, and we begin using these things, they become part of our lives, and before you know it, we caught up in the matrix. So it's affecting us, whether we realize it or not. So, and that goes also to the fact that I think, this is me personally, I think it really robs us of quality or valuable time with loved ones. Because anywhere you go, restaurant, anywhere you go, the bus, on the train, anywhere, there they are with the phone. There they are with the phone. Their children sitting there, their loved ones sitting next to them, and they're on the phone. They order the food in the restaurant, and he there on his phone, she there on her phone. And they're more interested in posting pictures of the food, selfies, than really enjoying that date, enjoying that, living in that moment, and enjoying each other's company. We're interested in what other people think about what it is we're doing, and we want to update the world. And unfortunately, with social media, we find people documenting. Everybody wants to be the first to tell a story. So somebody might be drowning, and what's the first thing people do? They pull out their phone. No,
yeah, man.
Nobody's showing a life jacket anymore. Everybody wants to
died. How did he die? Because you did nothing to help him.
Stay drunk, man. You're drunken? Let me get a
quick.
Yeah, they want to see who will be the first to post it. So everybody turned filmmaker nowadays, documenting everything, as opposed to, and even vacations. Anybody here interested in going to any part of the world that they didn't see before?
Sure.
Where you want to go?
Ghana and a couple of other African countries.
Sam?
I just want to go somewhere.
Anywhere but here? Are you having an anywhere but here right now?
Judith? Yeah. Have you been influenced by social media to take a vacation in a particular part of the world based on what you've seen on social media?
I don't have enough sense to do that. No. I tend to be not easily moved by many things. So I tend to, if I have an idea, I'm going to do something. It really doesn't matter what they show. I mean, some things look nice. I think what it is for me is that I'm always aware of the trickery of people. I saw something the other day. Woman named Stacey Adams here in Georgia, who's running for governor again. And they have an interview supposedly with her and somebody from CNBC or MSNBC or CBS, whatever it is, one of those big stations. And they show the woman doing the interview. If you watch the interview, you realize they're not in the same interview. You remember when you go and you have the 8-track and you splice the
Mm-hmm.
That's what they're doing. And you watch the interview, she's not in any way connected to Stacey Adams in this particular piece that they show. You can see two definitive pieces that they splice together. And what they're saying that Stacey Adams wants to defund the police. When the woman don't ask her the direct question about defunding the police, she says just enough, and then they put Stacey Adams that should say, so you think it's okay to defund the police? And Stacey Adams go, yeah, yes, I think that we have to be careful about. She said yes. The key word, she never said yes, I think we should defund the police. She said yes to something else, and they put that sucker together, and you can see where the two separate conversations that they put together. So I say that to say this: I don't trust human beings as it is, and because they can fake. I saw a picture today of our most recent past president dancing up a storm, one piece of big dancing, and I said to myself, what a wicked set of people. The man can't dance like that. And then while he was dancing, the current president was beating the drums and him dancing to what the current president had beat the drum. And so for me, because they do so much trickery, I don't trust them folks. They don't tell me nothing. I will go where I want to go, and I'll do what I want to do, and I'll take the opportunity. But I'm not easily influenced by much of anything. So that's, I question things too much. I question things too much for that. So. Now,
what are some of the dangers that any of you have seen using any of the platforms that you use?
Heard of. I haven't seen it, but I've certainly heard of people putting way too much information out there, either getting their homes invaded while they're in there, or their families are present. Or, they tend to always tell others publicly on the platforms that they're going away for such and such period of time. It's so simple to look up your information. There is no challenge anymore to find out even the phone number, address, what airline you're traveling on, what time it's leaving. And so much can happen at the time that you're away, or that you're traveling and your vehicle. People have way too much access to you already. So for you to give them extra information is damaging on several levels, personally and property.
Some young Caucasian couple, about 4 or 5 years ago, maybe, on my page, and they were going to some concerts, and they posted that they were going to the concert. And I think they posted when they got there. But one of their friends went and cleaned out their apartment while they were at the concert. If I say anything about where I go, it's after I come back.
Look at my trip. Tick.
That's right.
I'm telling them nothing.
One of the dangers I've seen is, I've mentioned before, people living vicariously through these content creators, through these influencers, and through celebrities. And I've seen a lot of people where their self-esteem has been lowered, or it has been affected by them trying to keep up with the Joneses, so to speak, because you're trying to match your success with someone else's. Someone who has been on the grind for 15 years, and then all of a sudden they make it and they appear like an overnight success.
Right.
And this individual who just started in whatever industry it may be, and they want to know how come they can't make it too. And then it affects their self-esteem, because John Tom over there did it. How come I can't do it? And they somehow seem to think that having these followers or being popular on social media automatically means overnight success. Whereas they don't realize some of these overnight success took 20 years.
Right.
So it affects self-esteem.
Also something
to another thing too is that if you make a mistake, it's really, really hard to clear it up. What I'm saying is sometimes I remember in Facebook was new. people would think that they're sending you information in the inbox, but it was information that was going on the wall. So let's say you were responding to someone, depending on how sensitive that information might have been, it ended up on your wall. So at some point, people weren't aware of, okay, is this on a wall that other people can read, or is this in an inbox that I'm sending? So some people had, they made that mistake. So you had people that was posting sensitive information on their wall without realizing it.
Wow. And Curtis, I wanted to just mention cyberbullying is real. There are children who should not be on Facebook because of issues they're having in school. And those kids, preteens and teens, are posting everything about themselves and their relationships. And they're being bullied. And a lot of suicides have been linked to the cyberbullying. Additionally, I wanted to make a comment. You have a 13-year-old. And I know for a fact he opened an account recently that was not authorized. Can you say a little bit more about that?
Oh, well, it didn't last very long. I shut it down.
But the fact that he was allowed. What platform was it?
Facebook. Yeah,
allowed
he opened up. He took liberty to open up. Yeah, that they allowed him to open up an account. And next thing I'm looking there and I saw something that I post and I see liked by. I'm like, somebody out there with the same name. So I say, oh no, bro. You're not ready. You're not ready for that. So
they're not mature enough to deal with certain
No,
things.
you're not ready for some of the things that you see there. Right now, there's a video I saw on IG with a young lady actually hanged herself. And her toddler was right there.
Oh gosh! Nice. Oh, goodness gracious!
And she's swinging.
Oh goodness gracious!
Mommy.
Oh, that's sick.
And this was posted on Instagram or WhatsApp.
They're gonna get fame at any cost.
So yeah, that's one of the other things I wanted to get into. It is a really sad situation. Yeah, I spoke about the vacation and fashion. Any of you all influenced by the fashion and stuff that you see?
I've never been influenced by fashion like that.
Look at my shirt. Can't you tell?
See my designer labels. I'm not influenced by who is wearing what. It's like what looks good. I've always been like that though.
Yeah, well, I don't play that. I never played that trendy, trying to be trendy or what this other person was wearing because
I heard a line. I heard a line in a show I think it was earlier today. One of those housewives show. The person was talking about she's wearing a coat or shoes from 2 seasons ago. What? Who cares? She looked amazing.
They did.
But that's what that group looks at. That's what certain people look at. You're not in season. You don't have the latest whatever. Are you serious? I couldn't care less. She looked 2 seasons ago, and she was really belittling her about it. Like, what? Your priorities.
Certain brands I follow, not follow as a religious sense, but certain brands I follow, they may have new products available. I might go check it out, see what it looks like.
What brands are we talking about, Jet?
Like clothing,
it's one thing to happen to like a certain design. And when I was in New York, New York is a more fashionable area than Florida. I liked certain designers. So if I was going shopping and I was in a corporate environment, yes, I would look for certain things because certain things fit me better. Have different shapes and stuff. Certain things, certain designers. Their clothing fits you better. But it's another thing altogether to be absolutely obsessed with certain designers. That's a completely different,
Yeah, I realized I was too fat for some of them, so I just changed my mind.
So we already admit that we've all been affected right?
Yeah.
In some way, shape, or form. So, tell me, how has social media changed your view of the world? Now that we have the ability to see, you mentioned Ghana a few minutes ago.
Right.
Sam said he just want to get out of here anyway. So, how has social media changed your view?
It has
of the world?
allowed, may I? It has allowed me to see various cultures differently, because it's one thing to see the sensationalistic view that you see here in the US on the the various network news programs. I was watching something that showed Saudi Arabia documentary, but they don't allow public filming. But these were cameras, hidden cameras by certain news people, and they were putting their lives on the line. But they were able to get into even the prison system, one of the prison system, and show the real deal. It looked state of the prison, looked state of the art outside. But when you got inside, it was man to man to man, no, on the floor, in a hallway, man to man to man. I mean, they were just lined up, dozens of them just lined up, and to see how the women are treated and certain things, and the beheadings and stuff like that, things that you would not see normally unless it was a hostage crisis situation and they really made it very public. But this was ordinary, everyday. They had a suicide square that they showed. So it's interesting to see different parts of different cultures to me.
Yeah, similar. I piggyback off of that. For me, some of the stuff I saw on social media coming out of Israel, and how Jews from the continent were treated over there the same way, put in camps and in prisons when they went there as refugees. Stuff like that the news media will never show you. You really get to understand the core of certain people who are held up in society as someone worthy of worship, almost, worthy. And when you get to see how people actually live, and how the Chinese, for instance, the museum, and how they view Black people, how they treat people from the continent, and you see stuff like this, the stuff that recently happened in the war going on over there with Russia, and you see how people, even in the face of war, that racism and stuff like this still shows its ugly head. That you in a war and people trying to escape, and you say, well, not you Black people, let the white people up first. So social media has exposed a different side of humanity, or inhumanity, for you to really see that you wouldn't have known depending on the news media. And because of social media, you actually get to uncover, lift up the skirt on a lot of the skirt. And you see a lot, you see a lot of things we're not supposed to be there. A lot of things that are not supposed to be there is showing its ugly head because of social media. And that's one of the things that I appreciate about it. Yeah, it's showing the other side. How about for you, Judith?
What?
Stop it.
He said to pull up the skirt.
No,
he said pull off the take off the veil.
What thing?
How has social media changed your view of the world?
Well, it's made. I tell you, I'm more aware of a lot of wars and conflict and different stuff around the world. Which I mean, I'm sorry that they exist, but I'm glad I know the information. And I think it just made me more. I've always thought about other countries and other cultures, and been concerned for them, even though I've never met anybody from there or whatever. And so now what a lot of things, these different programs, and some of them are, what do you call them? News shows. They have given me a view into these people. And I have a tendency, when I watch things about people, whether there's leaders around the world or whatever, I have a tendency to go and look at their bios to get a little information about them. I like to know about people. Since I like to comment about things, I like to know. So I think it's given me more information about the world, and I appreciate that. I would think that's what it is. When you're talking about before, and I think about sometimes, and I thought about it. Today's Tuesday, a couple of days ago, that to take a break from. I'm really only on Facebook. To take a break from it for a week or so. and just for whatever, just to take a break. But basically, it's information. It's opened up a lot, and I've learned a lot. You know, I follow a lot, like interracial marriages and stuff. A lot of things that I know so much about that now. And I know so many. It's just interesting information.
How about you, Sam?
Well, recently I was having a discussion with my girls, and I was talking about technology. You know, I worked on music, and by the time it came out, it was like a year later, sometimes a year and a half, by the time those music was released. To today now, you can do an album today and tonight it's on the internet, available for everyone. So with that example, social media and even the internet use has created it's sped up. Things are sped up. You know, you get information really, really quick.
Yes, yeah.
In some aspects, it's good. In some aspects, it's kind of bad. You know, it got to the point where I someone that I knew had lost a relative, and someone else started posting condolences to the family, and they didn't even announce, so they didn't have a chance to absorb the death, and that also ran away on social media. So that, you know, that was one of the downsides of it, but that's how times have changed, where you have to tell people, look, don't post nothing yet. You know, slow it down, because we haven't really, not all the family hasn't even known.
Sometimes even know about it, right?
Yeah, sometimes someone pass on and the news going, and all the family members that is pertaining to this particular person hasn't found out yet. So some people have lost the time where they would give that person some time first before they can ease in the information that, hey, this person has passed on. That has been messed up for some people on social media. So,
yeah, one of the other things for me, I forgot to mention just now, and I'll be short with this, is I've seen some people who are willing to do just about anything for attention.
Yeah.
Anything, and some of the dumbest things you can think about. And one which takes the cake for me is an individual who decided to jump into a cactus patch for attention. But the attention he got was not what he was looking for. Because I've never heard a person scream and sounded so much like a pig than that individual when he jumped into that cactus patch. Because what he didn't realize, some of that stuff, what you all call it in Jamaica, maca? Maca. We call it pica in Trinidad. Some of that stuff went into him and broke off.
Hey.
And he was just screaming like a pig. And I was laughing. I was laughing because you're a damn fool to think that somehow there was some sort of pleasure or humor was going to be derived out of the situation. Yes, it was humorous for me. Unfortunately, not for him. So I laughed at this fool. I laughed at him. It was funny. It was funny. It was funny.
I saw the other day, and my brother resent it to me tonight. A man somewhere in some country, rural area, must be walking, is a horse or a donkey, and him punch the donkey in the face. And when him done him slap the donkey, the man just box up the donkey.
Oh.
All of a sudden, the donkey say, all right. The donkey grab the string where him have and start drag the man by the string. And like you said, cry like a pig.
No, it hold his foot too. They grab hold of his foot.
Grab his foot.
Yeah, man, and drag him around to hear my voice scream. And let me tell you something. I've seen this twice on social media. As vicious as a hyena is, you see them attacking lions and whatever else they do. You know, a donkey will kick the behind out of a hyena.
Oh, yeah.
A donkey, same little jackass we know back home, beat a hyena. Something with the power of that bite. And I don't know what, but they show you. I've seen several videos with that donkey kick that hyena behind. So imagine that donkey put that bite on that man's leg. That's what she's talking about. And you should have heard the scream. You should have heard that man scream. Yeah, because you think, well, oh, it's a jackass. Go ahead, slap it. He found out the hard way. Not every jackass gonna take a slap. So, in closing, like I said before, considering the fact that we are already addicted, whether we realize it or not, we are addicted. Tell us, what do you think is a better way to use our time on social media? And close this out for us. A better way to use your time on social media. Leave the people then with some hope.
Well, I dare say, I should put on a special voice, but I'm too tired. I can't think of one. I dare say that I do that now. I usually around my birthday time is when a few people here and there will say, listen, you have no idea what you give to us, what you share with us, and the encouragement that we get from you. Keep doing what you're doing. And I get that every once in a while, especially at my birthday time. I like to encourage people. And I do that. I also like to put people's feet to the fire, including mine, because I think that's the only way we grow. And somebody told me recently, don't let nobody frighten you. You continue to write what you know. And so I basically do that now because people think that I don't laugh and I don't have a good time. I love to laugh, but I can't laugh 24 hours a day.
You're not a hyena.
They have a place for people who do that.
I'm not a hyena. So so the thing is that I believe somebody that used to be on my page, she tried to convince me that she didn't unfriend me. I looked at her, I was to her, you're such a stupid one. Do I look like I care? Did I ask anything about it? She said to me, response, did you see I did not friend you, I said to her, but I didn't know you were gone. I mean, what do you want me to do? I mean, it's not that, as I say, I don't like all these different terms, but it's not that serious. But I think she's one of those that if I wrote something that was controversial, she would come on and write, I'm just tired of all this negativity. So that I would write back and say, let me tell you something. You can't get positive without negative. You got to get both of them. Shut your blouse and skirt. Weather the storm. You take the good with the bad. So that's it. I think I'm already doing one of the things that I share with you guys already, and I've been trying to encourage people to do it, but nobody seems to be interested in doing it. Is writing to companies, an email, just a quick email and saying, hey, one of your workers did an exemplary job today. And, I want to recommend them. It actually does something for their work record. So that's it.
I do reviews. I do Google reviews. And sometimes they're not all nice. But they are read. And I've gotten responses from heads of companies because of the review that I gave, because they upper management does in fact read those reviews.
I'm sure.
Yeah. Karin, give us some advice. Some of us who may feel hopeless and addicted. Tell me what's a better way to use social media right now, because I too fall victim, and sometimes I find myself scrolling and then I say, what am I really doing? Shut this thing
2 hours later.
I fall victim.
I would just personal experience over the last 2.5 years, structuring the time that you select to devote to it and sticking to the schedule. Literally set a darn schedule. You know where your free time is, or should be, and say, okay, 2 hours, bam. Not 2.5, not 3. That's it. And if you want to pop back for a few minutes, but structure a schedule with your social media platforms. That's it.
Mr. Archer.
Yeah. There's a saying, be temperate in all things.
No.
So, mix it up and balance yourself out. When you're not being temperate, then you get into other issues and problems. Next thing you're exposing yourself.
You're this exposed. That is your keyword for the night.
I didn't start that. That's your started exposure business. So I think the use of social media has its good. And it has its upside and downside, and you have to use the right situation, so there's a right situation for each platform, and once you could find that, it should be good to go. So it's here to stay. A few years ago I made a joke, no, not a few years, let's say maybe 2 years ago, I said soon there'll be internet 2 and internet 3, internet level 1, and we're all on level 1, and we're going to have internet level 2 and internet level 3, and who knows what we're going to have to pay to get on those platforms if we want to. So the technology is here, it's coming, it's not going anywhere. We may as well just get hip to what it does and keep it moving. So that's my 10 cents.
Very interesting point, Sam. With the advent of the metaverse, what we're seeing right now is just this scratch on the surface.
Mm-hmm.
In terms of what is to come, in terms of AI, what do they call it? AI. Artificial intelligence, and what we see happening and what is coming on Meta, it will revolutionize the entire world of learning and how we do a whole lot of stuff. By the time it really takes a foothold on society, we may be too old to really care what it's doing, but the children are the ones that will benefit or suffer from the new technology as it takes its foothold on society. So personally, what I have to say is very short. Do not allow social media to get in the way of your obligations. Simple. Whether it's your obligation to your spouse, to your loved ones, to your children, to your job. When you're sitting there at your desk, at your workstation, and you know you're supposed to be working, you know you made an agreement with a company to work for 8 hours a day for a salary, and you decide to use a great portion of that time scrolling on social media, posting on social media, chatting on social media, while someone is paying you to do that. That's rotten. Do not allow social media to get in the way of your obligations. You're obligated to that employee, that employer, to serve them for 8 hours, not 6, and 2 hours dedicated towards social media. That's unfair.
You're going to service them okay.
It's robbery. You have children around you that need your attention, but yet still you sit there, useless task, looking to see what somebody else did, and you're just scrolling. No.
Not at all.
No. I don't know how else to say it.
Nada.
All right? Do not allow social media to get in the way of your obligations. Peace and blessings.
What good?
Hi, I'm Dr. Judith Barnes. I'm an author, a playwright, poet. I'm also a broadcaster by training, and I recently found out about 2 years ago that I can paint paintings. which means I paint sceneries, I paint landscape, I paint animals. I have just discovered, and so that I can do this. And so along with all the other gifts and talents that I've been blessed with, I have paintings, and they are on view and for sale on Etsy and also on Facebook. And if you desire to order any painting or order one of my books, because I'm also an author, please give me a call at 470-564-8267. That's Dr. Judith, and the number again, whether you want to just talk to me or order one of my paintings or one of my books, please feel free to call 470-564-8267. Thank you.
Hello there and welcome. My name is Curtis Henry. Over the past few weeks, as we were putting the final pieces together to get the show on the road, some people asked, why do you need to showcase Caribbean people? Why Caribbean Chatt? And I say, why not? Because we as Caribbean people have worked too hard, come too far, and suffered too long for us to continue taking a backseat. It's time for us to rise up, speak out, and show the world the value and the richness of our culture. So I'm providing a platform to showcase the history and culture of Caribbean people in entertainment, the arts, politics, sports, and economics. We will explore the many profound contributions they have made to society. So we invite you to stay with us as we launch what is to become one of the greatest voices of Caribbean people, for Caribbean people, by Caribbean people. On this platform, Caribbean people of excellence get to tell their story. Our aim is to ensure that your contributions are acknowledged and celebrated. Welcome to Caribbean Chatt. So make sure you like us on Facebook, follow us on Instagram, and be sure to hit that subscribe button on YouTube. We are Caribbean Chatt.
Showtime.
Hi, we are the Henry Boys. I'm Joshua.
I'm Daniel. Now it's Mom.
We're inviting you to read a copy of our father's book, Tiny Little Spider and Nursery Rhyme.
Hey, what do you mean a father's book? This is my book. I'm on the cover. Me, Imani. But let's not forget our sister Imani started writing this book.
And our dad finished it. So get a copy.
For yourself or for your child.
Tiny Little Spider, a nursery rhyme by Curtis B. Henry and Imani Smith. Now available on Amazon.com.
With me, Imani. Spider Boy.